Hi everyone, this is my second video with the Banzuke prediction, and hopefully my result will be better than last time, as I got a 7 and 8 and fell from my number 1 rank. So it is harder for me to clickbait people now into watching my videos. Anyway, this Banzuke is very easy, I would say. One of the easiest I've seen for sure, other than one of the Natsu ones where Aoyama got 10 wins and Sadanomi got 11. So let's start off with Yokozuna. It's very easy. Onosato jumps for Shoryu because he has more wins. Kotsuzakura stays in place, even more clear. But now a slight question. Taisho falls from Sekiwaki 1 East. Who do you put instead? I went with Wakataka Kage because if you put him there, Kirishima does not get a demotion. And Wakataka Kage does deserve to be ahead of him. And looking at precedent, that's how it's been most of the time. However, a similar situation arises when you go to Komosubi, because there's Aonishiki at Maegashira 1, who has 11 wins, and Takayasu at Komosubi has 10. So imagine they were both like Maegashira 15, or should I say Aonishiki is Maegashira 15 and Takayasu is Maegashira 14, then of course Aonishiki would go ahead. But because we're at the top of the Banzuke, to me it seems wrong to not give a 10 and 5 Komusubi as a half rank jump. It just seems unfair in a sense. And so because of this, I have Takayasu at Komusubi East and Aonishiki at Komusubi West. Then Maegashira 1 is quite easy. There's Tamawashi and Abi, and no one else is any close to them. And no, we are not creating a slot for Tamawashi. There's been multiple cases of Maegashira 4s with 11 and 4 that have not received a Komusubi slot in the near past. Afterwards, Oho, Hakuoho, Atamifuji, and Gonoyama all deserve the same rank, but first we'll look at the ones who are on the east side. I personally went with Hakuoho and Oho first because they were in the Joy. And Hakuoho goes ahead, first of all, to get Oho a half rank demotion, and second of all, because he was also. Actually, what am I saying? Whatever. Hakuoho got a winning record, and he gives Oho a demotion. And Atamifuji goes to Maegashira 3, so he gets the full 7 that he deserves. Gonoyama also, he gets the perfect 3 that he deserves. Afterwards, Hiradomi, Kotoshoho, and Wakamoto Haru all deserve Maegashira 4. But the solution is pretty easy. You just move Kotoshoho a little bit down. Because he wasn't in the Joy. Unlike, well, Hiradomi was half because he faced 4 Sanyaku. And Kotoshoho technically also faced a good amount of Sanyaku. But I think they're not going to over-demote Wakamoto Haru or under-demote Hiradomi just for Kotoshoho. I mean, 10 wins, 10 rank promotion is still very high. Ichiyamamoto gets his perfect 3. Onokatsu gets his perfect 3. Although it's a little bit high for a Joy Rikshi, but like there's really not much you can do on this Banzuke other than maybe over-demote Kotoshoho even further, which I don't feel comfortable doing. Now there's a first situation where people actually disagree. And it is about Oshoma and Kusuno. A lot of people have Kusuno at Maegashira 6 and Oshoma at Maegashira 7 or even sometimes lower. But I personally think Oshoma will be Maegashira 6. If you look at precedent though, most of them do end up at Maegashira 7, some at Maegashira 6, some at Maegashira 8. But to me, Maegashira 6 seems like a perfect spot for Oshoma because you don't under demote Kusuno because of this. Kusuno still gets his perfect 7, and I don't really feel comfortable putting a Komusubi below a Maegashira 14 unless it's necessary. Afterwards, Takanosho gets 3.5 ranks, because Ura gets needs to stay behind him and also get his full one rank. Well, he doesn't need to, but it's nicer. And Kinbazan, he gets 5 rank demotion for 11, and I'm giving him a bit of joy bias because he's he's actually behind Midori Fuji, Fujinakawa, Chiranoumi, and Shodai. However, having him at Megashira 7 would also not be unreasonable. As you can see, in the last year we had two Megashira 3s with 4 wins. One of them ended up at Megashira 7, one ended up at Megashira 9. So it could very well be that Kinbazan would be Megashira 7 West, Takadosho would be Megashira 8 East, and Ura would be Megashira 8 West. It's not out of this world. And so, by placing Kinbazan ahead of the people he deserves to be behind, you have Midori Fuji getting perfect 3 ranks, you have Fujinakawa getting perfect 5 ranks, you have Chiranoumi getting 3 perfect ranks, and Shodai getting 3 perfect ranks. And it all works out nicely. And Takira Fuji also gets a perfect 5 rank demotion. Now there is again a situation where a lot of people have mixed opinions, and it is Roga, Daisho, and Mitakiumi. And if you look at Sekiwakis with 0 wins, for some reason there haven't been that many in the recent past. But if you look at Komusubis who had 0 wins, there's a bit more recent precedent, one in each year. And 2 of them ended up at Megashira 12. So if you convert that to Sekiwake, it would mean that Daisho would want to be around Megashira 11. But Megashira 11, why I didn't place him there is because I didn't feel comfortable over demoting Roga when putting Daisho at Megashira 12 is fine. And yet I didn't feel uncomfortable under promoting Mitakiumi, and I can't exactly tell you a clear reason why. It just felt better that way, I guess. So I have Daesh at Megashare 12 East and Mitakiumi and Megashare 12 West. Afterwards, things work out fairly easily. I have Toki Hayate and Macy deserve the same rank, but I have Macy ahead because I want to give Toki Hayate full demotion, and Macy was like half joy. Sadanoumi goes Megashare 14 East, Sakura goes Megashare 14 West, and then some people have Shinanoumi and Tobizaro flipped, but I personally don't. I have Tobizaro falling, and then Shinanoumi. Then Tomakaze gets promoted, Nishikigi gets promoted, Ruden gets promoted, and then this is another situation where people disagree. I personally have Shishi at Megashare 17 West and Hitoshi Megashare 18 East, because if you think logically, Hitoshi is fighting for a slot with Kotoeiho, and so they need to be. They're the ones who are fighting for Megashare 18 East. Shishi is not fighting for that slot because he's pretty much like he's fighting with Daiseizan, who I have a 0-1 West. And so because of this, uh, I'm not demoting Shishi with a 7 and 8, and instead I'm placing Hitoshi, who actually deserves to be 0-1, and so it's also convenient to have him at the last slot of Bakuchi, compared to the other Jiro promotees who actually deserve to be in Okuti by the numbers. So yeah, that's my Banzuke gets. Thanks for listening.